Yasharala, all praises and glory goes to our mighty power, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the legmen feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, and sincerity and truth of this great gospel, man. And today I'm going to just do mostly a lot of reading because really it's a lot of this Bible you really don't need to break down. It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. And I'm going to start with the book of Psalms 78. Let's start at 78 and let's do 35. And it reads, and they remembered that the Most High was their rock and high power, their Redeemer. I'm going to read that again. And they remembered that the Most High was their rock and the high power, their Redeemer. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. Right? Because that's the spirit of these children of our people. All right, I'm gonna read that part again. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. For their hearts was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. Who's that talking about? The children of Israel. The children of Israel. You people, you're trying to put everybody in the Bible like the Lord is coming for everybody. When you be like, who's God's people? Everybody's God's people. But when you read the Bible, the children of Israel. The children of Israel, right? It says, for their hearts was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. So you gotta realize the reason we're in this captivity we're in right now is because we broke the covenant, right? We broke the laws, we broke the statutes, right? The Lord made a contract with his people through Moses, and then what happened? The people chose to do like the ways of the nations that were around them. And we're gonna get into all this. That's why this chapter is very powerful. Psalm 78th chapter. I'm going to continue reading. It says, for their hearts was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity, and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away, and did not stir up all his wrath. Right? It was many times, right, where the Lord should have destroyed our people. Lord should have destroyed our people. Look at it right now. This is the worst we ever been as a nation, because right now we don't even know our power. We don't know who we are as a nation. We don't know who our brothers are. Unless you don't woke up to this truth, you are in a fucking deep, dark slumber. And most likely a lot of you going to die in that deep, dark slumber. I read it says, but he being full of compassion forgave their iniquity, and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away, and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away and cometh not again. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness, and grieve him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted the Most High, and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy. That's the other thing, man. Jake then became, how can we say, hand in hand with the enemy. Jake then became part of the enemy society. You got a lot of Israelites in China, Israelites in Russia, Israelites in India, Israelites all over the world, and they done became part of that society, just like you Israelites here in Babylon the Great. You actually think you're an American or African American or whatever, the Hispanic American, Spanish American, Native American, but you don't remember the name of, you are the children of Israel, Yasharala. You ain't thinking about that. He is the Prince of Power. You're not thinking about none of this, because the Lord done removed everything and stripped all memory away from your ass. That's why it says a lot of people gonna die in their darkness, right? I'm gonna read verse 40 again. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness, and grieve him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted the Most High, and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy. How he had wrought his signs in Egypt. What did the Lord do? How he had wrought his signs in Egypt. Man, let me get a side precept. Hit him with the 3-step. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 10. It reads, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. As before. So we know that America is spiritual Egypt. So what is the Heavenly Father going to do? I'm reading again, but I will bring them with a mighty hand. Who's them? So, if you remember back in the old Egypt, there was a group of people that became slaves in that country, and the Lord freed them. Just like in this country, you got a group of people who have been slaves in this country, and the Lord's going to free them also. And that's what we're reading about. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. The Lord about to fuck America up. The Lord about to fuck America up, but let's read about the different plagues the Lord about to unleash on America before America gets fucked the fuck up, right? This is the book of Psalms. Going back to the book of Psalms. Bear with me. The book of Psalms 78. I'm going to start at 42. They remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt, right? Spiritual Egypt, bondage, right? The house of bondage, and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned their rivers into blood and their floods that they could not drink, right? The Lord's about to turn. We already seen pictures of different rivers around it, because don't forget, the whole earth is under that Egyptian spiritual vibration, so the plagues is about to hit the whole earth, right? Just like, but the main place that's going to be destroyed is America, the land of Israel. But the land of Israel going to be rebuilt, but then people over there about to be fuel for the fire, right? It says, and had turned their rivers into blood. We've been seeing blood rivers, and their floods, that they could not drink. Yeah, the Lord is destroying your water system, right? What's happening in America, man? America has a lot of undrinkable water. Just go to what is that? Flint, Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Right? It says, he sent diverse sorts of fleas among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillars, right? The Lord about to send a famine. The Lord about to send pestilence and plagues and different fucking creatures that's no good for your vegetation and your food resources, right? He gave also the food you trying to store in different places, man. Them bugs gonna be all over the motherfuckers. The Lord is cold as ice. It's called a plague, and you can't turn them away once they are sent. I'm reading again. And had turned their rivers into blood, and their floods that they could not drink. He sent diverse sorts of fleas among them, which devoured them, and frogs which destroyed them. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to the thunderbolts. He cast upon them fierceness of his anger, wrath, indignation, and trouble, by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their souls from death, but gave their life over to what? The pestilence. The Lord did what? He sent evil angels amongst them. What the Lord about? We got evil angels in America right now, man. Right? We got these death angels here in America with an erection for what? Destruction and death. Right? Boyfriends killing their girlfriends, husbands killing their wives, wives killing their husbands, children's killing their parents, neighbors killing their neighbors, right? Just people who don't know each other killing each other, right? The Lord said He gonna have the Egyptian against the Egyptian, right? That's what we're witnessing, right? That spirit of death. I'm gonna read that again. He cast upon them fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble, by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger, and he spared not their souls from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. He smote all the firstborns in Egypt, the chief of their strength, in the tabernacles of Ham. Man, guess what? Wait till the Lord smite the firstborn of Egypt. Again, right? You got these so-called men that's about to retire, and they think their son's going to take over. The Lord finna kill that motherfucker. and send a straight depression through these households, right? Through these households, the Lord's, and it's gonna be a plague. You don't know it's from the Lord because it's gonna be the firstborns being killed, right? I'm reading, it says, He made a way to His anger. He spared not their souls from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. He smote all the firstborns in Egypt, the chief of their strength, in the tabernacle of Ham, but made His own people to go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. And He led them unsafely, so that they feared not. But the sea overwhelmed their enemies, right? And He brought them to the border of His sanctuary, even to this mountain which His right hand had purchased. He cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them an inheritance by the line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents, man. The Lord killed the motherfuckers and gave us our they shit. Them Hamitic nations, right? So what is the Lord about to do again, man? The Lord's about to destroy spiritual Egypt. But at the same time, the Lord's gonna bring judgment to you fucking wicked 2/3, because you don't wanna repent. You don't want to take heed, right? And matter of fact, let me keep reading. Verse 55. He cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them an inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Yeah, they talk about, oh man, yeah. So how come? Where was the Lord at? I thought, where was your all loving God at when the children of Israel was killing these Hamites? Right? It says the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, He was with them. Yeah, the power of this fake ass God you people worship that loves everybody don't fucking exist. Right? This is a fucking made up character. This is a fake, false story. The Lord of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, He is the power of the whole earth. But who did He choose out of the whole earth, of His creations, of the people He made? He chose the children of Israel. The stiff-necked, hard-headed people that's about to be checked by the Lord. It says He cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them an inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High power, and kept not His testimonies, but turned back and dealt unfaithfully like their fathers. They were turned aside like a deceitful bow. For they provoked Him to anger with their high places, and moved Him to jealousy with their graven images, man. They didn't give credit over to the Most High. They gave credit to them fucking old Hamitic false gods and bullshit ass gods that they learned. And that's the same thing right now. All the gods that you worship right now go back to fucking what? Egypt. Go back to Rome, Greece, Egypt, Assyria, all these pagan ass empires that the Lord destroyed.